Mary Francis is a client of ours, and Mary Francis is somebody I've come to really appreciate and respect over the past months. And Mary Francis was in our cohort this morning, and she has this problem of getting clients. And they're buying, not getting clients. She's getting clients, and now she's getting busy, and now she, all the things, right? So Mary Francis, do you have any idea the questions I'm about to ask you? Have we prepped
No,
for this? Okay,
no.
great. Are
I've
you getting
done no prep. I have no idea what he's going to ask me.
are you getting paid or compensated or commissioned or discounted or
Oh,
anything for doing this?
I'm
Okay.
volunteering.
Okay, great. That's fun. All right. So we got a chance. I'm going to ask questions. Y'all can ask all the questions you want. And let's just find out like more about what Mary Francis is doing because she's a real life person, right? She's not trying to cram my 3 steps, dreams, drains, and doubts down anybody's gullet. She's just trying to be like, okay, here's the thing. So, Mary Francis, before we even start, because we've all done this a million times on this call already, and you do it too. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? And we were asking earlier what your favorite breakfast is. So fire away on that too.
Okay. I'm Mary Francis McLaughlin. I help executive leaders left standing after an M&A reorg or layoff build what's next with people they can't afford to lose. And my
Sounds good.
favorite breakfast is pancakes.
Oh, we got
Blueberry, to be specific.
that's good. I think Ray, you're French toast, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Awesome.
We got some IHOP buddies. All right. So Mary Francis, why that market? So we've talked this morning about defining a market, their dreams, drains, and doubts, and a minimum viable offer. Why did you? That's a very specific, unique market. Why that one?
Well, that's the audience that I've worked with internal in organizations over my entire career. I've worked across nonprofit, government, higher ed, financial services, and healthcare. And one of the reasons the reasons I picked that market right now is a lot of executive leaders are having that experience where there's an organizational disruption of some type. And a lot of focus is put on the change event, and a lot of focus is put on people helping people who lose their jobs or exit as a result of that. What I have observed and also experienced personally as an executive leader is there's not nearly as much support for leaders who are the left behinds, as we used to refer to ourselves as, after those events. And
Mhm.
when I've socialized that with my network and I've talked to people about that, people's eyes light up and they are like, oh, I know somebody. And I did my research in the market. There are not a lot of people working in this space. So I chose to lean into where my expertise has been, where my own experience was, and where there is a market for what I have to offer.
I love that. That makes a ton of sense. What are some of the dreams, drains, and doubts? Just one or two dreams, drains, and doubts of your market, because it's complicated to think through that sometimes.
Yeah, sure. So the dreams of the people in those situations are that they're going to continue to be successful. Usually, if you're still in the organization after that happens, those people are usually people that have had a great deal of success, performed well, in fact, are usually considered high performers in organizations. And so they want to continue to have that be the case. So that's part of the dream. The other dream is um, it's a combination of dream and doubt. If you're an executive leader after something like a layoff, you're very concerned because you start to see people in your organization that report up to you and and the issues they're having and the stress and anxiety they're going through while you're having it yourself.
Hmm.
So their dream is to stop feeling all the negative feelings they're feeling because you can't go through those things in organizations, especially a layoff or a restructure, and not have doubts of your own as a person and as a leader. And then you have to show up and support them. So the dream is really move past those feelings yourself or have a way to express them because you can't do that with the people in the organization.
Yeah.
And you can only do that so much with your friends and family before you wear them thin.
That's so true.
And so you need people to help you through that who are not your direct competitors, direct reports, or your leaders or tied to
Mm.
your organization. So people are looking for a safe space there.
Yeah.
They're also looking for what do I do next? Because usually you have to rebuild trust, reset culture, recalibrate on expectations around what and how do we get work done now? Because usually the ground has shifted a lot. And so people want to have a roadmap. They want to know what exactly am I supposed to do now? Because usually everybody's looking at you going, what am I supposed to do now? And you're sitting there going, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. You're sitting there smiling and acting like everything's fine, and you're in your head going, oh my gosh. So you just want to have some clarity and confidence and certainty of what steps do I take next to move forward and to move my people forward and retain them.
You hear
Because
those themes, everybody? She just said clarity, and yeah, she's saying all the stuff y'all
yeah,
been saying all day. Yeah,
yeah,
nice. Mary Francis, you joined Group Coach Nation. Like you came to one of these summits and then joined one of our
yep.
longer term programs. Why did you like several people in this call? I won't call it names. But several people in this call have been asking how they can like officially join one of our longer term things. Why did you make a choice to join one of our longer term things versus just rocking and rolling with the 2 day thing and keep going?
So I'm a very good coach. I know that about myself. I've been
Mhm.
a coach for years. I do have individual clients, and um, I do a really good job of coaching them. What I'm terrible at, honestly, is closing a sale with a client, getting them to hire me. So I have clients mostly through referrals, individual clients, mostly through referrals and my network, and a lot of self-pay clients, leaders in a lot of cases, but um, I'm really good at getting those, but I'm not as good at getting the higher paying clients. I have a hard time closing a sale because I was an English major undergraduate, and all my degrees since then, I have a master's and a PhD, and none of it was around selling anything. I mean, I worked at a bank, but I was in HR. So I didn't have a clue how to do this, and I don't want to be salesy. My brother's a salesperson. I am not wired that way. I needed concrete tactics and skills and information on how to have the right kind of conversation and how to have the conversation in a way that when I walk away from that conversation, people are hiring me, or I'm really clear that they're not going to, and we're not going to waste anybody else's time. I do it in a nice way, but we're done.
Yeah.
But I had no clue how to do that, and I really needed help. And I'll be honest, um, I've been to tons of these things. I launched my business a year and a half ago, and I've signed up for so many things over the last year and a half. Chris was the best person at doing that felt the least salesy and pressury. And his way of doing things was the way I wanted to be with my clients.
I love that, Mary Francis. Thanks. And Mary Francis, you exhibit that because you respect people. I don't think any of us love being that icky salesperson. Not that your brother is. I'm just saying. No,
He's not, but
yeah, I didn't mean that way. I don't know your brother. Okay. All right. Questions for Mary Francis?
Mary Francis, great to listen to your story.
Thank you.
You mentioned something that amongst the different areas you work in, also in healthcare, you talked about executives, you talked about your difficulty in getting the high ticket client. Um, and I'd like to know if you've overcome that and how you did it. And I'll tell you why before you answer me, is because that's exactly who I'm looking for. I'm looking for CEOs of hospitals, particularly in rural areas, because they're at high risk right now, high pressure. They wear many hats. They don't
Hmm.
know what they don't know. Those are the things that hurt them, creates loss in the revenue, and are going to force them to ultimately close those hospitals because they cannot support what they're doing because of this drainage and losses. But one of the things that you have to create is trust and confidence. How do you get to, if you're just sending out an email or a LinkedIn or something, a message, it's like throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. Or how do you get that one-on-one conversation that say, yes, I want to join your peer group, and I want to learn because you can give me XYZ can solve ABC problems.
Great question. Mary
So I'm going to
Francis just
answer
got
it in
done. She
two
just got.
parts.
So she just told us this morning she's been closing business. So I'm kind of let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing I'm going to say, and I'll transparent, I've been in this program 3 months. So
I told him you were new before you
yeah,
got here.
I'm not like, a year in. I'm 3 months into this program, but I will tell you in 3 months, I already see a huge difference, and I can tell you some of what I've figured out and learned as a result of this and what I've learned in the program. First of all, because I'm new, I haven't had enough time to get out there and like totally change everything yet and talk to all the people I need to and do everything yet. It takes a minute, right? You have to kind of figure it out. It's not going to take me 3 years, but I'm not 100% across the finish line in 3 months, just in full
Okay.
transparency.
Sure.
But what I have been able to do is take the skills that I've learned, and I just told Chris this last week. So my coaching clients are all individual coaching clients so far. To, coming into this program, that's what I started with.
It's one-on-one, right?
One-on-one,
Okay.
which there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. And if that's the
No,
best way you can get those high ticket people in the door, that's not a bad thing either, right?
Make the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to make the money to pay the bills and pay for the burger. Uh, but what I have been able to do is, as coaching engagements have completed with coaching clients I came in with, most of you know, if you're a coach, coaching engagements are on average about 6 months. 3 or 6 months is pretty typical. 6 months for a lot of people, one-on-one. And you don't always want to work with everybody you've been working with, but if you want to continue and they want to continue, what I've gotten much better at doing and what I did last week was I got a 6 month coaching engagement that went really well. And I was able to get her to recommit to 12 more months.
wow. Congratulations. Well
That's
done.
that's significantly, I mean, that's a significant difference from where I started there. And so that's part one. Part two of that is actually very related, which is executive leaders are not out trolling LinkedIn looking for solutions. It's not how
Correct.
they roll. It doesn't mean you don't put stuff out there. But what I will tell you is they're not going to just magically come to you that way or putting stuff out on any social media. Executive leaders hire people because of relationships and your credibility and your based on your experience or things you've done or things they know you can do. So you have to get in a room in front of them, meaning virtual or in person. And the best way to do that is through networks and connections. I have been able to leverage relationships that I have from my career to start getting in front of people. And in the last couple of months, I've been able to get in front of a lot more people because the way I'm approaching them is different. Does that make sense?
Just tell me, what do you do? One
What do I do
example.
specifically?
One example. One example. One.
One example. So what I'm able to do is I took the dreams, drains, and doubts, and I put it together in a proposal that I could use with the person I wanted to get in front of, who is an executive leader at a very large healthcare system. And I'm not going to tell you because you shouldn't disclose who your clients are,
Don't have to, right?
but this person is in a position to put me in front of other executive decision makers who hold the purse strings. And I knew this person because I used to work with this person. And this person's perception of me in my old role is not what I was going for now. So I was able to use my dreams, drains, and doubts information and put my offer together. And basically, I went in there and had a great, just casual conversation over coffee with this person. And I listened. I was a coach. I listened to all of his everything he is dealing with and what's going on. And I did my research beforehand too. And then I took what I was going to make the offer. And as he was saying, we're having this issue, I was like, oh, that would be something I can help you with. And then I slid my stuff in. And I only had to do that a couple times. And he's like, oh, you can help us with that? He's like, I should get you in front of so and so and so and so. And so now I said, oh, should I send you some information? He's like, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So he thought it was his great idea by the time we were finished. And
That's
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 just a
very helpful.
conversation. Going in and being a coach when you're having that conversation is probably the smartest thing you can do because a good coach listens to what's the issue that that person's trying to solve for, what they need, and then I'm able to help them meet their need. So that's what I did.
Good answer. Okay,
Yes,
good
it's
questions, Douglas,
excellent.
too.
No, great, great. I've got some ideas. Thank you.
Good.
We have time for one more question. Mary Francis, well, yeah, Josh, I see you there. You're up next. Mary Francis, of all the clients, the prospects who are coming back to you now, the clients that you're locking in now, that kind of stuff. Not trying to honk my own horn here. I'm just asking an honest question. How much of Group Coach Nation's work has helped you with that process?
Like a lot.
Okay.
Um, I would say 80% of what I'm doing now, including tightening up my niche,
Mhm.
clarifying my messaging, being really clear on the dreams, dreams, and doubts of my audience. That was game changing for me, by the way, to
Good.
really get inside people's head, even though I've been that person, really thinking it through differently. And then just being able to have the kind of conversation that closes the deal and doesn't
Mhm.
feel,
Weird.
used
Yeah.
car salesy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mary France. The reason I asked that is because I just want to encourage everyone else on these cool little squares we have in front of us to do the work we're telling you to do. Like the stuff I'm telling you to do today and tomorrow is the real thing. It actually
Mhm.
works. It's not just me being bored and hoping I can teach a class on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Thank you, Mary Francis. Josh, your question.
Yeah, Mary Francis, real quick, if you talked way earlier about kind of some market research that you did, can you just speak a bit more to that? Like how you went about researching or understanding that this was going to be a good niche for you or a good way, a direction for you to head?
Sure. So I did two kinds of research, quantitative and qualitative. I'm a scientist, social scientist by nature. I just went out and did deep research on what the biggest challenges and concerns are of the audience that I'm trying to work with, right? With my market. And I dug into that. I mean, I literally used the internet to do that. And then I went out and I went out and I socialized that qualitatively with people I trust. And I said, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? You know, I have this concept. Do you think this is a thing people are challenged by? And I did a lot of reading about, I do a lot of reading in blogs and podcast well, not reading podcasts, but I go out and I follow a lot of people who are talking about this stuff in my own career. And so I was looking at what they were saying. I mean, there are a lot of people that are experiencing disruption because of AI, and there are a lot of companies doing layoffs, even though we're not seeing as much in the news because they're doing it in smaller chunks. And there are a lot of organizations trying to figure out how to restructure around AI. So, and it's not just AI. There are a lot of other things going on, healthcare. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, great.
So So I think I mean, we have great tools available to us via the internet now. So, I mean, you can do deep research on almost anything anymore. You don't have
Yeah.
to pay for it
Key
unless,
thing that Mary Francis just said, Josh, is she got the answers from the people, meaning she heard their dreams, drains, and doubts, not the information she wanted to bring to the market. Like that's a key expression of how to do that. Mary Francis, everybody give it up for Mary Francis. Mary Francis, thank you so much. Is there any one last thing you want to leave with Mary Francis about this whole journey we're all on?
What I will say is if you think you need the help to get better at what Chris covers, um, I think this is a good place to get that. And I will say I'm definitely getting that support. And this was not an easy decision for me to commit to because I just did an executive coaching program that I paid for last year. And, and so uh, this was a big commitment to myself and a big investment in myself that is definitely paying off. So I encourage you, if you want to make a good investment in yourself and your success, on the other side of it, I think this program can get you there.
Thank you for saying that. Sigh of relief for me. Whew. She had no idea I was going to ask her. I didn't know where I was going to go.
Didn't know what I was going to say either.
Mary Francis, thank you for your time and your attention. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.